You ever wonder what makes a great gamer? Great gaming is not only about cheering on our teammates, but also being there to pick us up when we're down.
Guardian down!
Have you ever played Destiny with a fellow Guardian and thought to yourself, I wonder what their life is like? Questions like these spark conversation, friendship, and community. We're a Destiny 2 podcast that focuses on three things: community, news around the gaming industry and Destiny 2, and thought-provoking topics in the game. We're Guardian Downcast. Your stories, your community, your destiny. What's up, Guardian? Welcome to episode 294 of Guardian Downcast. I'm your host, ToddtheGatr, and I'm a Day One Guardian who loves gaming and especially the Destiny franchise. We're the podcast that's all about your stories, your community, and your destiny. This week, I have my co-host, Kingsleymac, with me here again. How are you, sir?
Hey, I'm doing good.
For those of you who may have not discovered our podcast and are new to visiting us tonight, we are a weekly gaming show with an emphasis on the Destiny franchise, but we like to sprinkle in a little entertainment, other topics of discussion relating to our hobbies from time to time as well, especially on our roundtable episodes at the end of the month. But we have been producing audio episodes for nearly 6 years now, and we've decided to do the YouTube game, do the live shows, and do the live video podcast. If you guys can deal with this, I'm good with it. So, but we now produce a live version of our show on YouTube and our Discord stage. And if you're saying Discord, what do you mean Discord? That's our server. We have a very inviting server in our Discord server, and it's discord.gg/Guardian Downcast if you want to join in and join us live there as well. And of course, you can go to any of your podcast apps out there or guardiandowncast.com to listen to any individual episodes whenever you want. It's all there for you. Whatever content you guys want, it's right there for you. In this episode, we're actually going to start the show with our usual catch up. And then, next we will I'll share my Trials of Osiris experience from this past week. And I've heard some feedback around the Destiny community that I'll also mention. The bulk of the show today, though, will be about that Bungie live stream that some of us saw this past week. And man, there is a lot of information that they laid on us, and it sounds pretty good. I'm pretty excited about all this. There's also additional, more picturesque details to it in this week's TWAB. So afterwards, we'll share anything pertinent to the live stream and to Act 2 coming next week, by the way. We'll do that afterwards. Finally, we have some questions from our community that we'll answer. And if you in the chat in our YouTube channel or in our Discord live stage channel as well, if you guys have any questions for us or you want to give some input as well, be sure to chime in. That's what we have our live show for, is to talk with you guys while we're making a podcast. And then finally, after we answer questions, Mr. Lazarus the Lich, Better Call Laz, stopped by us just to say hello. So we'll see what he has to say as well. It's an info-packed podcast tonight, and Kingsley and I, like I said, are going to try to cover it all as efficiently as possible. So, yeah. So if everyone's ready, let's roll.
Hey, Maximo here, one of the other Todds. You're listening to the Guardian Downcast, home of the coolest Discord group on the frickin' planet. Word.
I'll keep Laz waiting. He's just waiting in the green room.
He is. Well, it's been an eventful week, that's for sure. But let's start with you, Kingsley, before we get into our topics tonight. What have you been doing this week, man?
Oh, let's see. Nothing. No.
Okay.
I mean, the most.
Thanks, everybody.
No, right? That's a joke. On to you. I mean, not too many things that seem interesting to me to mention. However, I'm still really enjoying the game Avowed, and I am maybe like halfway through it. I don't know exactly. I haven't really looked up too much how long everything is, but I think there's 4 zones, and I'm maybe like a fourth of the way into the 3rd zone, so maybe a little over halfway. I don't know. But still, I have lots of hours to go with that, so it's been a nice thing to kind of keep me interested, something else to do lately. I'm also really excited about a game that just came out today. They were talking about it on the Game Awards show, and anyone who's played this other game is really looking forward to this. And this game also has gotten pretty much perfect 10 out of 10 scores. It is called Split Fiction, the new co-op player game from the makers of It Takes Two. I don't know if you've heard of that game, It Takes Two. Probably
I have.
It.
I saw it in. I think it was in the. I saw it in the. I saw it in one of the things.
And basically, it came out today, and excited to play it. Downloaded it on my PC, and then have it downloaded on my wife's PlayStation, because it's also cross-play, and you can do together couch co-op split screen, or you can do remote room couch co-op where it does split screen too. And of course, you can play it with people across the world also. So I will get going into that, if not later tonight,
Nice.
tomorrow, weekend. We're really looking forward to this one. And the idea with this one is one player plays as a more fantasy-based character. The other player plays as a sci-fi character.
That's right.
And the worlds, I hear, are just amazing.
That looks fun.
Nothing but good praise so far with that game.
It looked good when I saw it, and it's been out. It's been out over a year, right? I think it's been over a year. It's been out. I think it came out in
the It Takes Two game.
Yeah. Is that fairly?
The Fiction just came out today.
Oh, it did. Oh,
yes.
okay. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. It Takes Two has been out for over a year or two, but it's by the same makers.
Gotcha.
Yeah. This is a new game, and I'm really looking forward to it. So I got that to look forward to.
Okay.
I always look forward to the weekend coming up. I love doing the shows on Thursday nights. Who knows if we'll keep this forever down the road, but I love it because it's kind of like a capstone. It's like we do the show. It's exciting. I'm having a good time. And then also the weekend's coming up. So I always look forward to Thursday nights.
Yeah, we're going to do a raid this weekend. We're going to do I think a Garden of Salvation Saturday night. I think I might stream it. We'll see. Yeah. It's been a while since I've run one of those.
That's about it for me. Yeah. Of course, I'll talk about, I haven't really done much in Destiny, but I'm looking forward to some things that are coming up, and we'll talk about it as it comes up. I did see, this isn't super concerning news or anything, but I always love following the Steam charts. It's down to about 20,000 players for the high the last couple of days.
Okay.
That's down a bit from the beginning of the episode, but not as low as we got in like December and January. Yeah. That was, sorry, I meant to say 30.
Yeah.
The lowest daily highs were the 20,000 back in December and January.
Right.
So it's down a little bit, but not like the worst it's ever been. And we'll see what kind of a bump we get with Act 2.
It always happens, man. It's a tail end of the season. It's like, the story's already played out for that episode or that act, and people are like, okay, they're jumping over to play whatever they normally play in between. So that's
what always happens, but historically never 20s or 30s when you look at previous years.
That's true too. Yeah.
But it's okay. We'll see. We'll see it go back up some when Act 2 comes out next week.
Okay. Any TV or anything? Is that all you want to mention for this week?
I've still been watching White Lotus. Great show this season.
Haven't started yet.
Yeah, no spoilers, but this season is very more slow, dark, and I love it still. But boy, I couldn't see someone coming into just season 3 without watching the first 2 seasons, enjoying it as much.
Yeah.
Of course, this show is kind of quirky humor anyway, so you really got to be a special personality to like it. But
they had me at Walter Goggins. I'm sorry, I love that guy. That guy's hot right now.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah, that guy's really good. I mean, wow. He's been an actor for a long time, and just little movies that no one's ever heard of, and now he's getting his big break. He's getting this is his shining time. So I'm love seeing it, man, because he's always been a great actor. Let's see.
I love his interaction too with his girl. It's just, again, we won't spoil anything, but their interactions are hilarious, and he is so good.
I can't wait to see it. That's for sure. It's on our list. I'm trying to get my wife through 1923. We just finished the finale of season 1, and we're just starting season 2 now. So, but you know how they do it. They stretch you out week to week. So it's like, okay, we're going to let a few bank. We're going to bank a few so we can watch a few back to back if we're in the mood, you know? But, man, what a great show. 1923. 1923. That's right. I can't remember all these dates. It's like 1812 and Yellowstone, and I'm trying to wrap my head around it.
1492.
My wife sat down. We were watching an episode. We tried to sit down and figure out the timeline between Yellowstone, 1812, and 1923. We're trying to figure out who's who. Like you know, we're trying to figure out in 1923. Geez, one of the main characters. Raiders of the Lost Ark.
I don't watch it. Sorry.
You don't know who's in Raiders of the Lost Ark?
I'm sure I'll recognize it.
Oh, you just played that game. Who was the main actor in Raiders of the Lost Ark?
Oh, Harrison Ford.
Yeah, Harrison Ford. I'm telling you, man.
I almost thought you might have met someone else.
I got to come clean. I finally got my hip looked at, and I'm on prednisone this week, which raises my blood pressure. So I can't take any of my Adderall. I can't take any coffee. So I'm a few quarts low tonight, guys. So you're just going to have to deal with it. So I know, Jimmy. I know exactly.
It's all good. Hey,
Jimmy's like, bro.
We'll give Todd the answers, and we'll give him a cheat sheet. In the
there you go. Chat needs to just have a where they can hear me ahead of time and just whisper in my ear. No, he's the uncle. If you watched 1812, he's the uncle of the dad in 1812 that carried on. And yeah, it's complicated, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. But no, for me, last week, Destiny wise, I did play got my 3 games of comp in my competitive Crucible mode with, Warcry. And I think Fang King joined us as well. We finished our 3 games. I got the weekly drop with the new battle rifle, the Redrix S-Stock, which, I got an okay roll. Being that this rifle is getting nerfed, and we'll talk about that, I'm not really crazy about my drops. And of course, another pretty lame drop. Really nothing to report this week. It wasn't anything great that ever since week 1 when I got my really good roll. The weapon everyone should be going for right now, though, in the Crucible is the new Heavy Burst Void Pulse Rifle that has some amazing rolls for PvE and PvP. And of course, I'm talking about the Joxer's Longsword. Even if you're not a big Crucible fan, the PvE configurations are outstanding. And one roll I'm still looking to get, which is basically a legendary Graviton Lance, is Dragonfly and Destabilizing Rounds. Or you can get Dragonfly and Demoralize, which does the same thing. It weakens when you get precision hits. So that's the roll I'm still trying to work on getting. I will keep playing my 3 games of comp though, because, I'm a pulse rifle nerd. I want to make sure I get every chance I can to get it. As far as other parts of, Destiny Heresy, it's been a light week for me. I've had a lot of doctor appointments and work never lets up, it seems. We're just cranking up here in Florida. But I did want to mention, I did play Trials of Osiris again this second week of the revamped game mode. I again played with no volume. I was watching YouTube videos on a restful Saturday night. I think I played at 11 p.m. Eastern, which is usually not a good time to play. And I finished at about 12:30. I have to tell you, I had nearly the identical experience that I got. A 5-win streak for the week. I went to the Lighthouse, got 3 Adept Aisha's Care Heavy Burst pulse rifles, which one of my favorites. I got a Trials Memento, tons of weapon and armor and golf balls. Trials ciphers, but I literally just rain loot from the Lighthouse chest. Not to mention that every game that I played, I either got a Trials Engram, a piece of armor, a weapon, enhancement prisms or cores. I mean, no one really loses here. I mean, even if you have had the worst times playing this, you're still getting tons of loot every time you play. But there is an article that just came out last week I caught, and I just wanted to share it here real quick. It was from Jarvis the NPC. Interesting name for a pen name for a writer. And the title was Destiny 2, How Trials of Osiris is Turning Guardians into Casualties. And what they said here was, Destiny 2 has once again opened the gates of chaos with much anticipated Trials of Osiris, the weekly PvP spectacle that brings players together. Blah, blah, blah. We already know it's been redone. The matchmaking woes are what everyone is seems to be complaining about here. They say the recurring theme in the discussions among players is a significant frustration surrounding the matchmaking system. One user lamented, "Ladies and gentlemen, let the death spiral begin," indicating that a negative trend has been set. Players felt as though they were being thrown together into a blender, resulting in some sort of chaotic cocktail of skill levels. One particular user grimly stated, "Noob trash has no business in the playlist. Dead weight teammates," reflected a broader sentiment that many skilled players resent being paired with less experienced teammates. It's like trying to lead a 3-legged race with someone who doesn't even want to run. Boy, that's harsh. The matchmaking system's performance variability has left many players confused and angsty, leading to comments like, "Wow, I hate this map. Also, is Friday night Sweatfest?" And for the record, yes, Friday night is when all the streamers jump in and play. They're doing their carries. Usually you want to play at least in the middle of the weekend. That way people who've gone, the way it happens is once they go to the lighthouse, they get thrown into another pool, and you play much sweatier players, by the way. So you really never want to play Friday nights if you're a casual player. Wait for Saturday. Saturday night would be much better. Even Saturday during the day would be much better. But they did say that while some seasoned Guardians flourish, others feel like they're being putting in the effort only to be set up by failure. Or as another insightful comment put it, "I think I just got paired 3 games in a row with the most casual players of all time. A bitter pill for competitive players." Now, the big complaint this weekend was the map. He says, now let's talk about the map, or should I say the Crater of Despair. Players' frustrations spotlight the current map identified in the discussion as Solitude. For those who play Crucible know what I'm talking about. With some saying it's the worst map ever, but made behind the Exodus Blue. Players are finding this battlefield infuriating. It punishes those who like to play cautiously and strategically. Dreams of glory turn to nightmares as one fumed. "If I see my pair of teammates running down that hallway zone one more time, I'm going to blow." And I felt the same way, by the way. Here we witness a classic case of blame shifting. The players who run into fights without volleys. Some players, however, found amusement, even in the nightmare that is Solitude. They relished it, perhaps reflecting on the madness of it all. "Having fun so far, surprisingly," someone chirped, showcasing how few players can find joy amidst chaos. But let's be clear, the dominant vibe is resentment. If Guardians could send personal message to Bungie devs, I'm pretty sure it would be along the lines of, "Please, for the love of all that is holy, change the map already." But the biggest complaint was the victories among casualties. In this mix of complaints, there's still a few glimmers of hope, triumphs that remind players and gamers that why they endure the storm. For instance, there are reports of players going flawless after a string of miserable game experiences. "The joy of breaking past that proverbial brick in the wall is exhilarating," one user remarked. "Wow, after not being able to win a game last week, I went flawless on my first card this week. Matchmaking is a finicky thing, and it's very much luck. It is open skill. It's not card-based anymore. It is the luck of the draw. And maybe I just got lucky again this week because I did pretty well." It seems that amidst the chaos, even the most despairing of players can taste victory and reflect on their joy from hopelessness to triumph. However, just as soon as one triumphs, the Grim Reaper of unfortunate matchup strikes again, as another player revealed their journey to victory snatched away with 8 losses in a row post Lighthouse visit. That's the extra pool I'm telling you about that you get thrown into once you go to the Lighthouse. "I got my 7 wins, but after going to the Lighthouse, I couldn't buy a win. Lost 8 games in a row. WTF," they quipped. "It's like a cruel cycle of victory and defeat, an emotional roller coaster that guarantees at least one twitch of despair per play session." Well, there's a little bit more in this article that they mentioned, but the main thing I wanted to mention, the map was very difficult. If you've played Solitude, you start in open areas on each side, and then all of the action is inside the building in the middle. And there's a staircase that I was using to head glitch and kill people as they came across. But if you went inside and didn't have a shotgun, and of course I hate shotguns. I'm not going to use a shotgun. I had some tough times running down those hallways and in those areas inside and that's basically where all the heavy ammo was. So you almost everyone was drawn to that area in the middle. But I have to say, the flags mostly appeared in the middle areas, which was a pain in the butt. But I just played with my team. I just adapted to the team I was put with. And I didn't even know this, by the way. I thought because I was playing solo that I had immunity if I lost when I was in another fire team of 2. That doesn't go in effect until next week. So I didn't even have that luxury, and I still got a 5-win streak just playing casually with no sound, guys. And you guys know me. I'm not a great player. I'm a casual player like you guys. And I'm freaking old. I'm ancient. So if I can do it, you guys need to jump in and play Trials is what I'm saying. You're going to have frustrations. It's just going to be like, it's probably going to be like Iron Banner. You're going to go in, you're going to have great games, and you're going to have games where people just bend you over. That's just the way the matchmaking works. So I just wanted to mention that because, people have had all kinds of opinions about Trials, but, I actually started watching at the movies. I went to see my dead friend Zoe using my AMC Stubbs A-list membership at my local AMC theater. And it's a movie about a veteran from the Gulf War who has an imaginary friend who died in the war, but is still sticking around and talking to her. And unfortunately, my mother-in-law had an accident and fell this week, and we had to cut our movie short. So we're going to go back and watch it this weekend. We'll just make sure to go 30 minutes late and watch it again. But it was really good so far, what I'd seen. So I'll share next week how that ended up turning out. I've heard the ending is just superb, and it's just an independent film. It's not a big film or anything. Severance on Apple, Paradise and the Doc on Hulu. Paradise. I haven't seen the finale yet, JD. I haven't seen the finale yet, but I watched the second to the last episode last night, and it's looking good. It's looking good. It's a great show. On Peacock, I'm watching The Traitors and Suits LA, and I have to tell you, Suits LA has not really gotten me excited so far. And Tom Hanks has a new nature show called The Americas that is really good. My God, the camera work they did on this took 5 years to make this 10 episode event. And the camera footage, the camera work is it should win an award. It's outstanding. I mean, it shows things like raccoons in New York City, and not just like in nature areas. It's like, it's the Americas, and they literally scan down the United States, Canada, all the way down to Patagonia. I mean, it's all the Americas, right? So I'm looking forward to continuing to watch that. That's going to be very good. Of course, after tonight's show's over, I'll be watching the next episode of The Pit. That's with 2 T's on HBO Max. And for you Star Wars nerds out there, just a reminder, Andor Season 2 comes to Disney Plus on April 22nd. This is one I cannot wait to watch. And I've already been confirmed there's 12 episodes. So I am so looking forward to that show. So other than that, you have anything else you want to add? Any comments, Kingsley?
Well, just on the Trials thing real quick. Yeah, I mean, as far as having a bad map, that can happen. Yeah. That's happened a million times in the past. Mm-hmm. But as far as matchmaking, I guess it can bring up the age-old discussion of if there's always going to be certain people that prefer, skill-based, other people that prefer open drop-ins. And with either system, there's going to be some luck involved no matter what, like you said. I mean, no system is entirely perfect. So you could have like skill-based and then still get a crappy matchup or a good matchup. You could have open card and get a really good matchup, because if you're the player that's not as good as your other two, you're probably loving it, but maybe they're not, right?
Right.
But I guess as long as you're winning the games, and if your other two players are not, or your other two players are better than you, then they're going to be okay too.
Yep.
But I don't know. I just, the population did go down some. I saw the week before it was up to 63,000 for the high, and then this last weekend 45 was the high. So you must have gotten more of the luck side if I guess people were complaining, because with population down, that's going to have a little bit of a factor, of course.
And less players.
Who knows how everyone's playing and stuff. I think it was a really good idea still that they did this Trials revamp, but probably population's the biggest thing that they got to keep going for it to be effective. And do you think other people you've talked to, forget this article for a second, or maybe people in the chat let us know.
I
do we think that the drop-in system is better than card or matchmaking based?
I will tell you this. I think it was Grackle, which he plays a lot of Crucible, but he's probably more of a probably a mid-tier player, and he went to the Lighthouse. He was real excited about it. His first time ever went to the Lighthouse. I think he talked about it in our Discord. So I think people have to get past the intimidation factor and just jump in and play. It's just, think of it just like Iron Banner. You're just jumping in. Yes, you got to go get a card, the Lighthouse card at, at the vendor in the tower, which is, never remember his name, over there in the hangars. I'll think about it after. Yeah. Same 14. Thank you, Zombie. God, I need someone to help me. I need another earpiece tonight for people to give me terms. Just not on my meds tonight. But, I mean, if I'm going in playing with no sound and I'm getting to the Lighthouse in an hour and a half versus playing like a whole weekend, like I would normally have to play to get to the Lighthouse, I'm telling you guys, it's not that hard. Yes, you're going to have bad games. But I am going to put a video out. I've already decided. I've already got footage from this weekend, this terrible weekend everyone keeps talking about. I got tons of footage, and I'm actually in the next week or so, I'm going to release a video just showing people real gameplay and what to do when you jump in with a team of 2, how to act, how you should be playing. I'll even show mistakes I made and don't do this and things like that. I just think it'll be helpful to people. I don't put videos out there to get views. I put out videos out there to help our community. And people have, kind of been sitting on the fence going into trials. And I think if they see a schmuck like me going in there playing, they can watch some of my footage back and I'll explain what's going on and what you should probably try to do. If that helps someone, even just one person, it's worth it to me. So, look for that coming out soon.
So real quick though.
Yeah.
The question I had, and of course, it is easier to get to the Lighthouse either way because they did 2 things. They changed the matchmaking plus the cards. You don't have to go flawless to go to the White House.
You don't.
The Lighthouse anymore.
Hey, similar views tonight this week.
So, and I know it may be too early for you to say, but just a base opinion, regardless of these 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Do you think in theory having the open drop in is better than
Absolutely.
A more skill based or card based? Okay.
Absolutely. I hated card based because the closer I would get to thinking I got my 5 games in a row. I got my 6 games in a row. Here we go. And then bam, you'd hit a wall of just sweaty, cheating players. You'd hit everything, man. It's like you actually entered the arena where all the shit was going down. So
all right.
I love this open skill concept because it's funny. I'll be on my seventh win, have to win this one to go to the Lighthouse, and it'll be the easiest game of the whole thing. So I love that it's not card based. I love that everyone is playing randoms. I love that everyone is playing random pools. It's of course, once you go to the Lighthouse, just remember it's based on your win streak. I had a 5 win streak, which means I'd probably be getting some sweaty games if I played past the Lighthouse, but I get my Lighthouse loot and I'm out. I'm out doing something else. So if you do just that, I don't think you'll be surprised. It's much easier than everyone is talking about. So just wanted to get that across. I keep trying to sell people to play more Crucible because you can have some really good times in the Crucible if you just have a little bit of information, a little bit of knowledge, and just get some reps. Just get some reps playing it. So. Okay, well, if that's
I'm not
it,
scared to hop in. I'm just not interested to hop in.
I know it's like me and the Nether. I should be playing.
A lot of people.
I should be playing the Nether a lot more than I am, but it's just I have priorities of what I want to do when I jump in to play Destiny. Last night I was trying to get my. I was working on gun bounties. I was working on getting my season pass up to 100. I don't have it up there yet, and unlocking that final final seasonal.
You do.
Well, that final seasonal. Artifact I haven't unlocked yet, that 12th slot. So I'm trying to get that done as well. And at the same time, I was getting my, my catalyst for the heavy linear fusion rifle. Cause everyone keeps saying the Queensbreaker is so good in the new dungeon. So I'm like, okay. So I've been trying to work on my catalyst for it. And I'm like at 70%, I think. No, there it is. 271 of 400 kills with it. So, I was working on that a little bit last night. That's what I do in Destiny. I just jump in and just chip away at something I'm working on. I even have a post-it note up here of things I want to try to knock out when I do jump into Destiny. So it's just the Tomb of Want and all that stuff. I just haven't gotten really into that. I know that's more your jam. That's kind of why me and you kind of complement each other on the show because you like more PvE and I like more Crucible stuff. So it's just the way it works out. Okay. Well, I think we've got everybody caught up on the week. Let's turn to the Bungie live stream that they had. But first, we'll need to take a small break. Right back.
Hey, this is Mr. Monkey, not Killer Monkey, not Monocle Monkey, Mr. Monkey. Get your bounties done. You're listening to Guardian Downcast.
Now that we're going to get into the live stream, Bungie had a live stream this Tuesday at Reset. Actually, it was right around Reset. And they talked about Act 2 coming up. They talked about the future, Act 3, and maybe even beyond. So I am going to pass the talking stick over to Kingsley. He's going to go over the high points of the live stream, and then in the TWAB, I'll kind of bring it back in with more particulars. All yours, Kingsley.
Thank you. Yeah. It is interesting that they gave us some tidbits about Act 3 also, and I'll go down the list kind of when we get to those. Some speculation is there may not be a live stream for Act 3. I don't even know if there needs to be, because remember, Act 2 is only 3 weeks long.
3 weeks.
And then we're going into Act 3. So that's probably why they gave us some information on Act 3 also. But we will see. Maybe we will get another one.
Okay.
Anyways, starting off, they kind of introduce, there's a couple of like extra credit points, but some of these will be mentioned in better detail in the TWID, so I'll hold on that.
Okay.
But Act 2, we are getting for our seasonal activity something called the Court of Blades. Now, anyone who's played Destiny 1 may remember Court of Oryx. Did you ever do that much, Todd?
Oh, absolutely. Played a
or
ton of it.
Remember what that is? Okay.
I lived on the Dreadnought in Destiny 1.
Yeah, me too. And again, coming into the game on Destiny 1 after Taken King came out, not too far after. And once I found out about this Court of Oryx area in the middle of the patrol and this cool thing, I was like, wow, this is fun. And you would just kind of match up with randos. And then I remember it taking quite a while to be able to pass the highest level. I don't know if that was more a skill issue for me or the people I was playing with were just not as good, but then eventually it got a lot easier. But basically the Court of Oryx, we always talk about this, but that's also the area that they drop you into when you start the King's Fall raid. That's the area you can also see in the Nether, that middle area. Well, now this is how I got introduced to it first, like when we're starting the raid and we dunk those things in the hive statues, before that little platform area where all the enemies are. Well, how that worked in Destiny 1 is there's things you interact with there to have different activities you would play from a level 1 maybe to like a level 4. I forget what the exact wording was, but they'd have easier up to harder. And a lot of times it was kind of like, what was that activity in the Dreaming City where you'd have to like purchase or have a token for the higher level. So you would hope that you or one of your rando teammates would have a token.
Blind well? Blind well?
Yeah, it's kind of like the blind well where I don't know if they're going to still do it this way now, but you would have to have kind of work your way up to and get tokens for the higher levels. And then whoever had a token for the highest level could slot it in. And then the hardest boss would come out.
I remember from the Court of Oryx, I'd be around doing bounties, doing patrols and doing bounties because I love exploring every inch of that place. And I would hear someone launch the Court of Oryx. I'd go, oh, okay, let's go help them out. Because usually be someone by themselves and they're like, you can see them dying time after time after time. That's the memories I have of Court of Oryx when we play. Now I played Destiny 1 a ton. So yeah. Yes, this is very similar. It's a 10-minute activity is what they're saying, right?
Yes.
10 minutes?
Basically a shortish activity, going to be kind of a chill thing. Basically what happens is you start in the Court of Oryx area and then you'll get stuck into other layers of reality. So they can take you to Io, they can take you to other places. So this is one of the first times Io's coming back in a small faction. Again, adding to my point that on the topic we had last week, the data is not deleted, people. Bungie just can't practically bring Red War back instantly, especially for a lawsuit. But if the data was deleted, then IO wouldn't be coming back either. And again, it's not all of IO, it's just a little arena. But every time they bring something back, it takes a fair amount of work to recode it to work in our current system that we have. About shorter than Nether, about 10 minutes, go to different planets. It will continue to have like these roguelike elements where kind of like the buffs that we get in the Nether, but they will be different types of buffs. So that'll be fun. We can experiment with that. Like there's going to be things where we can get like a hive sword or other fun things, or something where like you have, if you do a finisher, not loot, but ammo drops for you and all your teammates, like a bunch, like, so some new little buffs and things, that roguelike elements that we haven't had yet. And they will have an expert mode too, where you can get adept weapons. That does go on to the next topic of 4 new weapons coming out.
Yes.
And they told us that this activity will be the best place to get them, but it's not the only way you can get them. But as normal, seasonal weapons are easiest gotten in the seasonal activities for multiple reasons. They drop tons. You can focus everything. They drop like candy for sure.
Yeah.
So one of the new weapons is the Refusal of Call, a Strand Adaptive Glaive, Anamnesis, a Void Lightweight Bow,
mm-hmm.
Division, an Arc 2-burst sidearm. That could be fun.
Yes.
And then Afterlight, a Void Adaptive Fusion. I'm also looking forward to that one.
Yeah.
I know it's probably early to say, but any stand out to you?
Of course, it's going to be the sidearm. I love 2-burst sidearms. Even going back to, what was it, the bronze something in Forsaken. It was the first 2-burst they introduced. Bronze, I probably got one in my vault. But yeah, it was a 2-burst, and I've always had fun using 2-burst sidearms. They're always a lot of fun. Heavy burst.
Yeah. And don't sleep on the fusion too, because remember, fusions have a little bit of a buff with the artifact.
Yep.
So
brass attacks. I still have one.
Yeah. All right. 1 second here. Okay. And then they also confirmed, which we already kind of knew, but they confirmed that there will be additional content in the exotic mission that will, of course, allow us to finally start working on the catalysts. Access to the first 2 catalysts, they said, Target Lock and One for All. So that'll definitely make the weapon a bit more interesting and better. So it'll be nice to finally start working on that to see if we want to actually keep using this weapon or if it's just a novelty.
Right. It's a pretty weapon. Don't get me wrong, but I just haven't used it a whole lot. So many options.
Yeah. Artifact mods, I think we probably should wait for the TWID for that because they lay it out a lot better.
That's fine.
You're okay with that?
That's fine.
All right. Then they go on to talk about some previews for Act 3 also. That we'll get even more artifact mods. I mean, just a preview, and we'll get into more details in a little bit. But for Act 2, they're really focusing on trace rifles. But for Act 3, and we'll go into those details. But for Act 3, they're going to focus on rockets and strand. One mod will grant access to woven mail, and another will enable RPG autoloading, which that'll be nice for sure.
Absolutely.
Also, complete access to all the rest of the stuff in the exotic mission. Full customization of the new weapon, so you can do everything that you want. Here's what I love, and we already knew this through spoilers, but now they officially announced it. They are reprising the Destiny 1 strike. The Sunless Cell is coming back.
One of my favorites. And it's in the Dreadnought, so it's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This one's a lot of fun. I hope people like it. And this is where the Darkblade comes from. The guy also, that type of knight that chases you around in the Halloween event, and that they made the light version of him in the Lightblade strike. So because of that, they said it's going to be a new boss, a new story for that strike, which they sometimes do because that also happened with, what's her name? The Screaming Witch in the strike that they changed her to a different.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, what's her name? No, I don't. Yeah, she does that crazy scream, but
that pulse rifle I got.
Yeah,
strike.
But anyways,
it so many times.
Yeah, it's going to be it's equivalent to like the Disgraced and the Will of Crota strike. Yeah. Expect Taken and Dread. So, guess they need to add Dread in a lot, of course, because Dread's going on with the whole Dreadnought thing. Never really thought about that, but no, I'm excited for the strike though, and that's another fun thing. I hope there's a little more going on with Act 3 than just a new strike, but
well, like you said,
that's all they wanted to do.
Act 3, yeah.
And
I mean, it was. I think I agree with you. I don't think they're going to have a reveal for Act 3 since Act 2 is going to be so quick. I think they decided to knock two things out at once with talking about Act 3 stuff coming up. I think they're going to be leaning on some kind of other activity to carry us through. I mean, that's still a long way from Apollo, man. If we're talking July, that's still a long way away, man. What are they going to do to fill spring?
I know. Yeah. Well, on all those points, I mean, I was going to talk about it at some point, but like,
Omnigul, by the way, the chat screen.
Yeah, Omnigul. Thanks. And they changed it into Voda. Omnigul.
Yes.
Yeah. Obviously, we gotta get an Apollo reveal sometime in April. If they go even past April, that would be sad.
Yeah.
But hopefully they gotta. I think maybe too. It's like if they do the reveal of Apollo stuff and Frontiers, right around the time Act 3 is dropping, that's probably a smart PR move, because especially if Act 3 is like maybe not packed with as much stuff and it's going to be drawn out till at least July or worst case later, then that's like, oh, but we'll get them excited and all the Frontier stuff. So that's a good time to drop the probably like a reveal on that.
Dude, I'm telling you, they're going to have something that's going to ramp up. They're just not telling us yet.
They are. Yeah.
So they're going to have something ramping up.
I'm not counting on anything super exciting, but they do need to. And
they have to. They got to get people hyped to buy that next DLC. Oh.
Well, I buy it even if they're not having.
Well,
that's not what gets me to buy it.
We're diehard Guardians.
Stop playing Destiny if there's nothing going on, in the meantime.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, we'll talk more about that another time.
Yep. I remember that.
Of course, JD. I remember that too.
One of my favorite.
That was
things.
Great things. Those exotic swords in D1, like a hard version of the Strike. Yeah, it was part of the whole exotic quest.
You had to collect those calcium fragments. Remember that?
Yeah, it was annoying leading up to it, but when you get in the Strike for the last part, you would want to go in with a team of 3, because if you had to rely on matchmaking and randos, which you could,
they grief you.
Well, it's not even purposely necessarily, but people are fighting against different ones that they wanted to go for.
Yeah.
You were going for Void, Arc, or Solar. Yeah. So unless you messaged them or something.
There's no messaging back then. That just did.
Well, there is.
You remember the frustration? I think I would wave. I think I would shoot like a Void weapon or something is what I did when we were down in that dark hole. I'd be like, yes, I'm going for Void. I'm going for Void, please. And of course, everyone else was going for something else.
You should just go in with a team. That's like any kind of exotic mission. That's kind of funny that one was like a match made type of situation. Usually they aren't. Anyways,
for an exotic mission, I agree.
Yeah. One thing we do know that will be padding out Act 3 is a pretty cool thing, a new free activity called Rite of the Nine. And basically, this is a dungeon-based event. It's not exactly something like Pantheon or Onslaught, and this isn't. I still think they should do something else in Act 3. Hopefully this isn't it. But even if this is it, it's a pretty cool thing what they're doing. So basically, they're focusing on 3 dungeons. It's a limited time event. I hope that this will keep going in other aspects down the road. But the 3 dungeons they want to focus on, I guess also because of 9-based stuff, of course they're going to have Prophecy. But they also decided Spire of the Watcher and Ghost of the Deep.
Ugh.
Everyone's going to have opinions on, are these the 3 best? Should have they picked these or not? I don't even really care per se. I know some people are going to have strong opinions on that. At least they're doing something. The exciting part is what they're doing, if you haven't heard yet, is they're going to have different modes of it. And then I'll talk about the weapons and stuff.
Sure.
And this is so cool. They're going to have different modes that you can go in. They can have an explorer mode, which is basically an easy baby type mode. No offense to it. I'm not saying that like if you're not a good player, but like maybe if you're haven't gone into dungeons yet or don't know what to do, you could even go in solo on explorer mode, kind of get a feel, lay of the land. It's intended to help you learn dungeons. There's no darkness zones, no hard wipes, so you can just die over again. And mechanics will have little pop-up tips to explain how they work, like Arctrician or whatever. And there's also waypoints they add during traversal sections too, so in case you're a little bit lost of where to go.
Here,
Excellent idea. Remember,
I'll set you up. No. I'll set you up. Hey, Kingsley, I'm curious. I think in Guardian Hub, didn't you mention something about this a long time ago?
Yeah. Sorry to go too fast. I have, and I'm not the only one that's mentioned this, but
no.
And obviously, it's going to be a lot more work in raids. But wouldn't that be amazing if all the dungeons and all the raids always had an easy mode? Even if the easy mode was just no wipe mechanics, right?
That'd be great.
Even if it was only that.
Yeah,
it can help people. And you're not going to get as many rewards. You shouldn't on the easy mode. You'll get some rewards, but I think that'd be great.
I think they should. I think they're testing it. If you ask me, I think they're testing this.
Oh yeah.
They're going to see
are,
it.
but then the hard thing, we've seen this a million times. If they're just testing it and it's only 3 dungeons, I mean, they were testing Pantheon too and stuff, and nothing's come back yet. I mean, are we going to wait a whole another year and then just be another 3 dungeons and it's limited time again? I want this to stay as soon as possible. Yeah. So hopefully
they're going to gauge the numbers. They know what we do when we play. They know where we go. They know where we hang out a lot, and it'll be in patrol zones for me. It'll be red hot, but they know where we play. They'll gauge it. They'll see how many people engage with it. And if people engage with it, they'll say, okay, this will be part of our new player experience. We'll help out.
There's no real bad reason to keep it in the game technically, but I think the reason why it's limited time, this is like with all marketing, it's to get people to play it at the time it's going. We can get annoyed by that, but Disney Vault used to always do that too. But it's like that gets people to buy it because it's limited time, or gets people to hop in the game because it's limited time. So I understand why they're doing that this time, but I hope there's no point not keeping it in down the road. It's not going to hurt anything by keeping it in.
I think it's a great idea. I can't believe I hadn't thought of myself.
And then they're going to have what they call more like the normal version, is just the version called Eternity. And then they're going to have an ultimatum version, which is closer to like contest mode. It's going to be a little bit different. They did tell us that they're going to have things in there like not swap, which could be annoying, but to me, that seems not the end of the world. I know that a lot of players that care or need to care about those type of things and optimizing stuff, it's like, oh, we got to do this and this and this and swap to this at the last second and have 10 more pieces of ammo, and it all makes sense, but you can in theory get that done without that. That's more just like contest mode. So I'm kind of glad they're adding not swap in a way, because it gets people to play a little more normal, in my opinion, on a harder mode.
Yeah.
Sorry for anyone who takes offense to that. And then, of course, that's where you can get the adept weapons and such also.
Right. And then, of course, they have the crazy mode too. So
that's the one I just mentioned. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I like playing it. I want to experience it. I don't really need to put excess difficulty on myself. I just want to get the stuff done to get the loot. I mean, that's always been the way I play.
Yeah, that's what's perfect about this. There's 3 different, and that's why raids should have had 3 modes for a while too, like they had in Destiny 1, because some people want the easy mode, some people want the harder mode, and some people, which is kind of normalish mode, and then some people want the expert mode. So here we go.
You listening, Bungie?
All right, on weapons. This is one of the big reasons they're doing it also. They are really going to focus on this, because one complaint that people have on the PvE side of the game is that dungeons, out of all things, are the worst spots to get a weapon that you want, for multiple reasons. Raids are way better, because in dungeons, often a weapon will only be in maybe like 1-ish encounter, sometimes 2. And there's often dungeons only have 3 encounters. And so, and you don't have the option for like like in raids, you have the extra chests at the end and everything like that. So what they're kind of doing with this is like, okay, we heard you. We'll make dungeon farming better. So what they're going to do is they're bringing in 12 guns, 4 from each dungeon, have been, first of all, reprised with new perks. So that's always good. Get people excited in some new perks. And they're described as juicy. Good perks, hopefully.
Hopefully.
You can attune yourself to these guns. So again, focusing. This worked really good with Onslaught. It's working really good this season with the Tome of Want. And you can attune yourself to those guns to increase their drop chance. And then you can work on these. And reprised weapons will also have a prophecy-themed aesthetic and include a second origin trait, Gravity Well, which reloading this weapon attracts nearby ammo bricks.
That sounds fun.
One last thing. Each week we'll focus on a different dungeon, which players must complete in full. So I assume this will go on. I'm hoping for at least 6 weeks, because then each dungeon you could do twice if you wanted.
Right.
Well, I thought you can farm this. It sounds like either way, but I don't want to, in case there's a dungeon you don't like or you don't care about those weapons, it'd be nice to move on to the next one a couple times. So
yeah.
And then a couple just real quick last things before we move on to the whole extra topic. Rite of the Nine will also have aspirational rewards. of like 5 emblems, weapon skins, and a seal and a title. So just a few more things for people that care about all this. I'll give my quick opinion, and then I'm curious what you think. I mean, this won't bring me back too much, but I am interested to hop in. And I think I like raids better always than dungeons. I think it's more fun playing with 6 people than 3. I think raids are more going on than a dungeon, but I've never been opposed to dungeons. And with all this hype going on, I could see hopping in it with some people. I even want to try hopping in just to experience the easy mode and see what it's like, just so I know what to tell people. And maybe I'll even hop in a harder mode. I doubt it, but I think this is kind of a good thing. It's probably not the best thing compared to like what we had with Pantheon and an Onslaught last time, but this will be something at least. What do you think?
I'm excited. When I saw it on the live stream, it definitely are copying the old Trials, the old Trials area where the 9 used to be, and you'd go on different ramps up the spiral depending on how many wins you got that week. It very much brought that back to me. Year 1 Destiny, Trials of Osiris, or Trials of called something else. But yeah. No, I smell a little bit of Into the Light here, because you can focus these weapons for drops, to get that drop for that weapon. But of course you're not playing, rounds and, what do you call that one?
Onslaught. Yeah,
Onslaught. Yeah. It's, what they say was like certain stories that you're playing with Rite of the Nine. What was it? What was the content? What was the actual activity you had to go into? Was it like a revised?
No, the activity are the dungeons, but there's a social space. There's a social space where you can.
Yeah. So those are the 3 modes of the dungeons.
Which is just focusing.
Yeah. Sorry, I was thinking. There's so many because I'm confusing it with the activity they're bringing to Act 2, which is the Blades of Oryx.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Yeah. Later. So we're gonna get to that in a minute here. But no, it looks exciting. Now I know what this Curio of the 9 I keep getting in my inventory is going to be for. Be getting this Curio of the 9. It says, "Hey, don't worry about it. Just keep it in your inventory." I'm like, okay, fine. So I've got a few of those in my inventory. So I guess that's what we know. We're going to probably have some free stuff to plug it in and use it for attuning to a certain weapon or something maybe. But other than that, I'm always cautiously optimistic. I try to be, look forward to what's coming as far as the activities and stuff, and that they don't get too worn out and tired after a while, but I'm going to play them all. Actually, I'm going to play everything. In fact, I've been wanting to get back in, and I tell you what, I hate to admit this, but there's a lot of dungeons I've only run one time. So I might go in this explore mode just to get a refresher, of how to run those 3 dungeons. So, I know Ghost I've run twice, maybe 3 times. It wasn't a fun one. There was a lot of swimming. I remember a lot of swimming, a lot of underwater stuff. And I remember that last boss was a killer to kill. She was tough, and hopefully they've adjusted that a little bit. Quite sweaty.
It's already been easier anyways for people that haven't hopped in there for quite a while. Plus, I'm sure they've got, I don't see why they wouldn't. Obviously, health damages should be easiest on the explore mode, and then a little more on the regular mode, and then more on the expert. So with it already being tuned some, and they kind of mentioned they'll be tuning some other things, I'm sure the health pool won't be an issue anymore on that one.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm actually looking more forward to some things coming sooner, and we'll talk about that. It's funny, like Act 2, even though it's so short, the activity and then another seasonal event coming up, I'm way more looking forward to what's before what we know of Act 3 so far. So hopefully we'll know more about other things coming in Act 3. They'll surprise us with things down the road, but right now that's what we know.
How have you done on Moments of Trying? I know it started this week. I've already got my 14 to get my T-shirt. I automatically auto-completed 14 of them, I think, right away. But are you going to want to try to get the title and seal this year, or on Moments of Trying?
I don't even know if I got it last year, but I might have. But I did log in on Tuesday just mostly to check out the store. I didn't play anything in the game. Okay. And then I did check out the Moments of Triumph. I had everything checked off except for one to get the title. So I'm just one away from the title. So maybe I'll do that. Perfect. But I am really not caring that much. I'm going to care a bit more spoiler when we get into it, about Guardian games, because they're finally making a new activity for a seasonal event.
Yeah, we're going to get into that.
I've been saying this forever also.
Never seen Kingsley so animated. Oh, my gosh. All right, then.
Come on.
Then that means it's time for This Week in Destiny.
Hello, everybody. You are listening to Jealous Gaming on Guardian Downcast.
All right, This Week in Destiny.
I have to do that. Yeah, sorry.
I'll go ahead and share my screen here. You should be able to still hear Kingsley and I. This Week in Destiny for March 6th. This week, we had an amazing time during our developer live stream and showing you what's coming very soon in Heresy Act 2. And we've talked about a lot of this stuff already, but the main thing we want to talk about was the heretical arsenal weapons. Kingsley was mentioning they're coming to Act 2. Here's just a picture of them for those of you who are. Can I share my screen? I think I can share my screen on. Yeah, I can. Perfect. Here, you guys in the Discord can see it too. Boom. There you go.
Yeah, excellent. There you go.
Can you see
Perfect.
it? There
Why
we
not,
go.
right?
There we go. I'm learning, guys. Hey, I'm learning how all this stuff works. But there's the pictures of all the new weapons coming. And for me, of course, it's going to be the sidearm. That's what I'm going to want to definitely get. So
wait, I didn't mention is there 5? I didn't mention the bow from the other.
Yeah, you
thing.
said void bow. You said void adaptive.
No, I said void fusion.
Oh, yeah, fusion. Wait a
I
minute.
might have missed one here.
Wait a minute. No. Wait a minute. Is this an SMG? Did we miss the SMG?
No, that's the sidearm. That's
No.
That's the fusion. Oh, sorry. I'm behind watching a YouTube stream.
No.
Watch.
You can still see you can see the screen in Discord, right? It's more instant than Discord. But yeah, this right here, you can, in this, looks like an SMG, right?
Oh, that one. You're right. That's the one I missed, not the bow.
I didn't even know there was an SMG.
I don't know what that is.
I didn't read about an SMG. Maybe that's a misprint. I don't know. Maybe
I doubt it is, or else they would have pulled the TWID. So maybe they just didn't talk about it on the stream or something.
All right.
Anyone who knows, let us know. I mean, I'm sure there's spoilers somewhere, but since they show the pictures here,
Well, like we mentioned earlier, let's talk about the new artifact perks that are coming out for Act 2.
Yeah.
Overload trace rifles will be coming out. We know what that is. Beam Medic is column 2. Beyond rapid trace rifle, final blows heal you and nearby enemies. That is fantastic because there's another one that does it. Don't we have wasn't there another one we were using that does that too? It was one of the 4th column. I think it was using a machine gun maybe. Or anyway, then you have elemental siphon, rapid final blows with a kinetic weapon or weapon matching your equipped super, create an elemental orb pickup. That's going to be good. And there's a boost involved there with other artifact perks. Harsh refraction. Trace rifles do more damage to targets afflicted by elemental debuffs matching the element type. So that's going to be good. And then limit break. Casting a super while you are critically wounded or have an elemental buff matching your super element grants a period of increased super damage. Our raiders are definitely going to have that hooked up. They're definitely going to have that.
I love all of these. Yeah. And I love that they're leaning more even into trace rifles. On these arc builds that I've been loving, and let me tell you, arc trace rifles are going to be hot if you're on an arc build, and most Titans and Warlocks are on arc right now. Well, I can't speak for everyone, but that's what I've been seeing from friends. And so I might go back to Cold Heart for my special, or I might do one of the legendary arc trace rifles instead. But I'm really excited about this.
I tell you what, for shits and giggles, I put on that arc build that we talked about a few weeks ago. And I was having so much fun. I had super all the time. Yeah. And I love that new Sentry. That thing is badass. Yeah. And it doesn't burn your grenade. It's awesome. It builds up so quick too with the build that we put together last couple weeks ago. So, overload trace rifles. And if you played Iron Banner a couple weeks ago, you'll probably have this little beauty right here. Well, you can use, of course, the Lodestar. That's already arc right there, ready to go. But Iron Banner had their version last week. Where is it here?
I have a funny story on another one coming out, too.
Here it is, right here.
We'll talk about it.
The Warlord Spear. It's not that one. This one. Jolting. No, that's not it. I got another one. I got 4 of them. They're all spread out.
Don't worry about it. From what I hear, the new one coming out is going to be even better.
Okay, fine.
Than the Iron Banner one.
Where is it? Oh, I probably got it equipped. I got it equipped to one of my characters, probably. I guarantee you.
I'm just laughing here. I knew this was probably going to happen because they're always making better weapons all the time. So I really didn't need to be an Iron Banner that much because there's another one coming out that's going to be even better.
I knew I heard you all the way across the United States smiling when I saw that. So yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
I don't regret going in, but I should have been patient too. Cause I'm like, will I really need this trace rifle? And then sure enough, not really.
What is that thing you used to always tell me? Bungie wants you to try new things. That's why they're giving you this little emphasis here, emphasis to try to get this weapon. So, okay, looking ahead, we talked about the Rite of the Nine, the Sun Cell, the heavy metal game mode. Did you mention that?
I didn't mention that yet. Oh, I'm actually kind of think this could be fun.
There's a new heavy metal, is a new chaotic PvP mode coming in Act 3 of Heresy. What could happen if Guardians fought each other inside of Briggs and Drakes? This is a question we've been asking for years, and soon we'll finally have some answers. If you didn't catch it on the live stream, we are wondering how many movies of the week submissions in the future will have 360 no scopes of flying Drakes. The Briggs will be dipping, diving, ducking, and dodging around the map for success. Who will come out on top? Guess and find out. And the Drake tank does have like a boost where you can actually jump in the air with it. It's crazy, man. Yeah, it was in the live stream.
It was. I couldn't tell how big the map was. Could you? Because I'm hoping it's fairly big.
It's going to have to be. It's going to have to be big.
Also, don't you think everyone's going to want to prefer Briggs, especially because you've never been able to interact with them before?
That's where I'm going.
And it's like some cool mech thing. But the thing is from what I understand, it randomly puts a team in one and then a team in the other.
Yeah.
So that's going to be, do you see potential issues? I do. What if you're really wanting Brig and you load in as tank and then everyone's like, oh, I'm out. And then they leave.
I think it'll be random. And I think you're going to get a lot of dodgers. A lot of people are going like, oh, nope, I wanted the Brig. I'm out. I'll try again.
I know.
You're going to keep rejoining. Yeah.
Yeah, that could be an issue. I'm kind of worried. Of course it's going to be random, but I'm worried about that. But anyways, I'm excited to trying this out.
It's a fun, way to just chill on the weekend with your friends. Chill and just probably get a lot of laughs. Guardian Games. Here we go. And they definitely changed things up this year. It's that time of year again. Time to bank some medallions, earn some great rewards, and show everyone which class is the best Guardian. Guardian Games is back, and while everyone knows their class is the best, this is your chance to prove it. Of course, it's going to be Warlocks. Come on, man. Come on. We got all kinds of little tools we can use right now. But I got to admit, man, I'm looking at the armor pieces here for these three characters. I think I'm going to work to get all of them because they all look good. It looks like they're going after that Greek god type theme. It looks like Apollo, or not Apollo.
It does look better than some years. I'm not really loving the Titan one, but then again, I don't really love any Titan stuff.
Actually, that's my favorite of the three.
Oh, right on.
I like the wolf mask here. That looks really good. Or the lion mask right there.
Yeah,
oh yeah, I can. There we go. It's better.
It does look cool in theory. Yeah, I can see a lot of people liking that.
It looks good to me. I love that lion mask.
Oh, of course.
Leopard, whatever. I'll get all three. Now you'll be able to, of course, with 6,000 glimmer, or was it 1,500, 6,000 bright dust or 1,500 silver, you'll be able to buy the complete sets for each character. I don't know how I'm going to do it yet. We'll figure it out. A lot of big changes though coming with Guardian Games. With Guardian Games Nightfalls and focus activities not a part of the event this year, we've got something that will reacquaint you with some familiar foes and let you flex your god-killing prowess with a brand new activity, Rushdown. And this looks exciting, man. Yeah. Okay, introducing Rushdown. Rushdown is a boss rush style activity where you battle a series of bosses taken from Destiny 2 campaigns, seasonal story missions, and exotic missions. With each boss encountered and defeated, combatants in the activity increase in difficulty. With 5 total encounters per run, you'll have a time limit to complete each run. Great timers. With time added for each successful encounter completion. Completing encounters in a run will earn you rewards, with faster times offering a chance for more drops and higher quality loot. Yeah, that looks fun. Mm-hmm. That looks fun. Yeah, just the picture right there looks really cool. Everybody's using linear or trace rifles. I wonder why that is. Anyway, you'll have 3 ways to play Rushdown. You can start with warm-up mode. I'll be jumping in there first to get my eyes adjusted, which will be your entry point for the activity. Standard and expert then ramp up the difficulty, offering more powerful combatants with modifiers and adding revive tokens to the mix. Each mode will offer options for standard matchmaking, class-based matchmaking. Oh yeah. And of course, private matchmaking. As you work your way through Rushdown, your performance will help determine the quality of your rewards. You'll be judged on 2 criteria: bosses defeated and total score. You can increase your score by completing encounters quickly and earning bonus points for extra time remaining. Limiting your use of revive tokens will also increase your score as you get a bonus for unused tokens. There you go. Nice. I like that. Completing at least 3 encounters in any mode will guarantee Guardian Games weapon drop for that run, with 5 score thresholds: bronze, silver, gold, platinum, and diamond. Reaching higher thresholds in standard and expert modes will improve your chance for additional perks on Guardian Games weapon drops for that run. High scores in expert mode will also offer a chance to get a fully earned Masterwork Guardian Games weapon with additional perks. I've got a ton of these. They are really nice to have, let me tell you. So what do you think, Kingsley? What do you think of all this, man? This Guardian Games activity?
Amazing news. I'm excited. I'll actually be doing Guardian Games this year.
I always do. It's one of my favorite activities.
Yeah, but I mean, like, the fact, I'm sure I'm not the only one that might be coming back a little. I could be in the minority. I could admit that. But to have a new activity like this, and one that sounds quite interesting, and see, if you really want everyone to compete, you got to do something new and interesting, at least from time to time, right? Like, Olympics never always just keep the same activities. Sometimes they add new activities, and so this, I think, is a good idea because I've been saying for years, give us something new for the seasonal activities. Don't keep having the same activity year after year. And not only does this sound interesting to me, and I think they thought it through very well. They have different modes. I'm not saying this is going to be some godsend and fix Destiny, but I do guess that maybe we'll have more participation this year than in some previous years. It's a little hard to make that prediction because we're down this year anyways compared to previous years, but I'll have to check the numbers if Steam charts go back that far when it's all said and done, see what happens.
Looks fun. Yeah, it definitely looks fun.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. We have the Be Proud of Your Class. While there's a lot to do in Guardian Games, the path to victory is simple. Team up with your other members of your class to compete in PvP, complete activities, and earn precious medallions. Bank your medallions at the podium to earn points for your class. Each day class scores will be measured by the average medallion score of all players who deposited a medallion that day. Separated by class, of course, the class that has won the most days by the end of the event gets the gold, and more importantly, bragging rights. Okay? Depending on your contributions to the Guardian Games All-Stars, you'll also earn glows to proudly wear. These are linked to your personal and group achievements, and we have 4 in total. 1 for being the best in tower. That's the one where you just glow gold everywhere. Another for being a member of the winning class of the day. A shoulder glow linked to your weekly performance in Rushdown. A second shoulder glow for your weekly performance in Supremacy and Gambit. And a bronze, silver, or gold for with the shape of a laurel crown, depending on your class place, in the Friday coronation ceremony, just like last year. Nothing really different there. The picture of the Guardians there. To kick off the festivities, visit, of course, Evil Levante in the tower. Grab the intro quest, Best in Show. You'll also get your Guardian Games class item, which, like JD Kent said in the chat, rip your exotic class items. Hey man, I haven't leaned on those in a while, so I'm good. I'm good, brother. All right. As you look into earning medallions, Eva will also have a great variety of contender cards to choose from that will earn you medallions upon completion. In other words, bounties. The cards will be divided between gold, platinum, and diamond with increasingly challenging objectives for each tier. The diamond medallions are worth a lot and can change the course of the day. So they're limiting them to 2 a week. Keep that in mind. 2 a week. So choose carefully what you want to get a diamond in, because you can only get 2 a week. All right, returning favorites. You'll have a chance to grab some returning favorite weapons. I think they said the skimmer is going to be back. I've had the skimmer on ever since I got it last year. It's the only skimmer I ride on. I have the one from Zur too, but my main character has the All-Star Vector skimmer, and I got it like black with the colors. It looks really good. Anyway, so you'll be able to earn that. They'll give you like a temporary one, but as you get stuff done on the quest, you'll be able to actually get it awarded to you at the end of the Guardian
Similar
games.
to last year, yeah.
It's just like last year, yeah. We have the Fizzle Games Memento available to earn again this year. You'll have the chance to earn one anytime you bank gold, platinum, and diamond medallions. And last year, they're pretty generous with them. So I have a feeling that hasn't changed. Unless there's a bug. Please don't let there be a bug. All right, Kingsley, the new trace rifle is coming. Yeah. On top of the renewed perk pool for Taraxipos, which I have a ton of those with multi-column perks. I love that. I love that rifle. The Tidal and the Hullabaloo, which I also have multiple perks on that as well. We have one new weapon available only during Guardian games. All right. I'm going to call it the Kranios, a new arc trace rifle that can roll with some strong combos that fit very well in our arc-centric episode. Jolting feedback, check. Recycled energy, check. Rolling storm, of course. So it's a nice looking rifle. I'm looking at it here. It's really nice. There's a bigger picture of it. And nice and colorful. I'm sure Kingsley would definitely be going for this one.
Well, not because of how it looks, but how it acts, actually. I'd probably just put a black shader on it anyways. But
I'm telling you, the black with the rainbow, with the 3-colored, it looks really good on weapons. Yep.
Yeah.
It's going to look good.
Yeah, I'll go for it. I mean, even if they didn't make the new activity this year, I would probably go for it at least a little bit just because, I mean, even though I don't care about weapons as much, if there's a category of weapon that I like, I'll go for stuff a little bit. But then if I don't get it, I never am disappointed.
Right.
But this one I'll go for because it will be good in PvE also. And arc trace rifles I'm really loving right now. And so, yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not? Might be a different feel than the one from Iron Banner. You never know. Yeah. Mm-hmm. New event, new look. Here, of course, is the armor already mentioned. But like I said, there's a closer look at them all. I really like the iron. I like the, it looks to me like it looks like I don't know, kind of looks like a lion to me. I don't know. Hard to say.
I like the hunter one the best, of course, again, even though I'm a warlock main.
Yeah. The laurels. I'm probably going to get all three. I don't know how I think about the serpents here. A little too blue for me, but, maybe a shader can change that. And, sure. I like the helmet for the warlocks, but I'm not liking that gown. No, I'm not liking that. If anything, I'll probably just, if I can, I'll probably just buy the Apollo helmet here and be done with it. Cause this doesn't compared to, I don't know if you guys, the Guardian photographer last year actually featured me with my set that I got last year. That set is outstanding. This set, I'm a little lukewarm on this warlock set. So I'm probably going to lean more toward the Titan and the Hunter set. Yeah. Okay. The champ title, of course, will be available again, and the event card you can get. It includes weapons, a new exotic emote, a new exotic sparrow, and a new legendary shader. Complete all the challenges and earn the champ title as well. That's the event card. Probably going to be $10 or 1,000 silver, I'm sure. But here's the exciting part. I love jerseys, man. I remember getting the jerseys from, remember the Gambit, special Gambit, they had very first years of when they introduced Gambit, and they were awarding these jerseys. I still wear them to bowling every now and then. I should have worn one tonight. You know what? I'll wear one next week. I'll wear one of my Sentry, jerseys from Gambit that I got a few years ago. But man, these jerseys look good. I think I'm going to pull the trigger on this, man. Just to be able to wear it on stream, it looks good. What do you think, man? It looks really nice. It looks like
jerseys aren't for me,
no,
but they do look nice.
It's a nice baseball jersey.
I like kind of the coloring and stuff. Mm-hmm.
Reminds me of the. I'm not crazy about the colors here on the sleeve, but the pocket area here and all the class, it just looks really good to me. I'm probably going to get one. Of course, 25 is for 2025. That's the number on the back that you'll get. And I think I don't think you can personalize this one. That's the Moments of Triumph t-shirt you can personalize, but I don't think this is personalized. And I'm sure it's going to be like $75. So get your wallet out if you guys really want to get this. Yeah, Jim Rayner, 120,000 bright dust won't be wasted. Yeah, I guess not for your armor pieces, right? Guardian Games Rushdown Roulette. All this basically is there's they're going to have like a emote that they spin around, and it will give like random things that they have to do. One will be like certain weapons, it's basically a public streaming community from all the nations are going to be having the Guardian games rush down. It'll be class-based, and North America, UK, you can see the people here, France, Germany, ANZ. ANZ, help me. What is ANZ? I don't know where that is. I feel stupid. Japan, Spain, the Nordics.
Australia and New Zealand.
Thank you. I knew it was said, I was going to say New Zealand, but okay, I see the A now. Okay, I get it. Sorry. Sorry. Our Australian Aussies out there. Poland, Benelux, Italy, LATAM, Brazil, Middle East. I mean, it's a big event, man. It's a big event. So it's going to be a streaming event. It is going to be on, it looks like it's going to be the first week of Guardian games. They don't have a specific date here. I don't see one. So I guess just tune into it. Just says tune in and you can win a range of prizes. These are going to be like emblem giveaways, things like that. They're going to have emblems. If they win a certain emblem, they can also give one to the streamer to give away to their stream. So yeah, it's going to be roulette because they'll have different factors like, maybe the chat can choose what they have to use or things like that. And of course, if you sub to a creator, you'll get this awesome looking, this is while watching the Guardian Games event. Any streamer that's participating, you can get this emblem, which I have to admit, man, that emblem looks really good. I love the shadow detail on this right here. It looks really good. Yeah, I'm probably going to do that.
Yeah.
I'll probably gift a sub or sub to somebody and get it. Yep. Okay. Act 2 Crucible Strike update. The only thing we need to worry about here is my beloved Redrix S stock is going to be nerfed. That's all we need to know here. They're going to be nerfing it. How much are they going to be nerfing it? And it's mainly the sword logic. Of course, that's the one I have a good roll on. They're changing this in PvP, but not in PvE, which basically means base damage 20 to 15% and increased damage bonus for kills against players. In Super, they're increasing. So if it's a risk reward thing here, guys. If you decide to try to take down a Guardian running at you in PvP with a Super and you knock them out, they're giving you 50% damage instead of 35. So they're giving you a little bit here, but they're taking away here. So, and they mentioned just, I don't need to go into detail here, but they said because lightweight pulse rifles were buffed, that a lot of other pulse rifles, especially exotic ones, like like this one, the Outbreak Perfected, actually got buffed as well. So because of that, they're reducing a little bit of the body shot damage from, it's very fine tuning, by the way. So I wouldn't even mention this if it wasn't in the TWA, but they're fine tuning it 20 to 14 to 19.7, 31.8 to 31.5. I don't think this is going to make a ton of damage, but they're trying to make sure this stays consistent across all lightweight frames. So that's the only reason they're tuning it down just a little bit, but I'd take that with a grain of salt because that's not a real big decrease in damage, to be honest, in Crucible. When seconds count, that's not going to be a big difference. They said, there's really, that's all we need to know about that. We really don't need to go into that. They're reducing the handling stat on the Redrix S stock from 79 to 74. You're not going to feel that, by the way. So don't even worry about it. Here's the part I wanted to mention because I thought I was already getting this benefit, but I guess it starts next week. Solo versus Fire Team Loss Forgiveness. I want to read this because there's a lot of players out there who are like, I don't want to play solo. I only want to play if I can get two other people to play with me. But here's the thing. When Act 2 goes live next week, the newest mechanic of Trials of Osiris and the competitive and comp, by the way, if you need a refresher, there's a Crucible update you can go back and listen to. But starting in Act 2, we will allow duos to match trios right off the bat in both Trials and comp, which I thought they were already doing. This will continue to allow duos to play with our 3v3 playlist without making it feel like an advantage that they can avoid trios. We have not enabled this in the past because for the solo player that gets brought into the match to fill out the duos team, which I did a lot in Trials this weekend, it always feels like a bad experience to see a trio on the other side. We also understand that filling out duos games and with solo players often makes us feel like a lottery to see who gets the better team. And that is true to some point. To help with this friction, we'll be setting it up so that any solo player that gets matched against a larger fire team in either trials or competitive will be granted loss forgiveness for the match on the condition that they don't quit, don't go AFK, or try to throw the game. Doing any of these actions will still result in a loss and potentially matchmaking restriction, blah, blah, blah. You might get banned or timed out. Winning the match will still count as normal, by the way. But we believe this change will have the effect of encouraging more people to play as full fire teams while also improving the experience of solo players who get matched with fire teams in these modes. Now, here's the thing. I don't know if you realize how big that is. If you are playing Crucible solo in comp or in Trials of Osiris, which that's all I play, Trials of Osiris is solo, is a good chance you're going to get matched and paired up with another duo. And if they're going up against a larger fire team, fire team of 3, you can literally get flawless if everything hits just right. You can go flawless to the lighthouse if you get matched up a lot of ways this way. So you have nothing to lose. If you get matched up with a duo and they're going against a trio, you have nothing to lose when it comes to playing trials or comp. So that encourages, to me, that's telling me jump in as solo. I think that's encouraging more solo play than it is 3v3. I don't understand how this is helping a 3v3 fire team, but if you're playing solo, which I already am, this is great news, which I already thought this mechanic was in effect. So now it's going to be even better in trials. So get out there and play trials, guys. On the prowl, smoke grenades are being nerfed. Thank goodness, because I got hit by one in trials. I couldn't see, I couldn't move, I couldn't even shoot my weapon. I literally might as well just been frozen with stasis and say, shoot me. It's not a fair fight. So they no longer reduce.
Should they get rid of stasis also?
Well, stasis has a time limit. That smoke grenade lasts forever, dude. I swear to God. Someone hits you with a smoke grenade, it has nothing to do with skill. It's all it is basically you can just sit there and just pot shot people.
Just the stasis one, but I didn't know the smoke one lasted longer.
It lasts a long time. It's oppressive. So no longer reduces player move speed and jump height, no longer reduces the weapon handling, and no longer suppresses player movement activities. And on the prowl, hunted players no longer have pink glow in the first person's perspective, reduce the glow intensity on hunted players in third person. They're going to keep it on the Void Hunter and see how things go. They'll let us know if they need to tweak things a little bit more. So, yeah. What if you were so bad that it appears that you were throwing the game even though you were trying your hardest? Come on, JD Kent. Come on, man. You know the players that are griefing. They're the ones that are going into the enemy's area and shooting their gun in the air like, hey, come get me, come shoot me. Come on.
You can't always know, because I get his point, because there are times too. Look, not playing Crucible all the time, I guarantee sometimes going into matches where people complain they're cheating, I guarantee at least 20% of the time they're not actually cheating. It's just people being salty and grumpy. And then on the same aspect, I see what you're saying, JD, like probably at least 20% of the time there could be a player that's really, really bad, and I hope they don't get penalized. Thinking that they're trying to purposely lose. All right, I'm really curious the analytics they're going to use on that.
I'm making this video this weekend. I'm gonna replay some of my trials play from last week on that horrible map everyone kept talking about, Solitude, and I'm going to show you how I played it and got 5-win streak without even sound on. You're going to hear sound in the video because I didn't have my earbuds in. I literally was watching a YouTube video on this screen and playing trials on this screen, and I'm just going to walk you through how I did it. And I'm telling you, it's not that hard. You just have to play with your team. It really is all you have to do. So, okay. Speaking of trials, the new sniper rifle is the adept weapon this weekend. I'm not crazy about snipers anymore because they've just nerfed the shit out of them. The flinch is still very bad when you try to use them in Crucible, and I've hit people in the head and they've survived. So I'm like, why even use a sniper rifle if you can't one-shot people anymore? You know? So skill issue, right? Right, Deadpool? Skill issue. Okay. But it just letting you know, it is available. It's going to be this weekend's, adept rifle. I'm going to do it anyway, but I'm not going to be crazy about using ciphers to try to get another roll. Reminder of the account linking update. Is this important?
Not really.
Not really. I mean, they've talked about this a million times. If you want to read all the, there's an important update regarding it right here. You can click this link and it'll bring you to the article where they talked about it long ago. Moments of Triumph, Bungie store sale. Great moments of Triumph this year with the Bungie Store sale. This past Tuesday, we kicked off our Triumph Savings Flash Sale, offering amazing deals or discounted items through March 11th at Reset. Whether you're in the market to add the Nerf Ace of Spades to your collection or wanting to pick something cozy with our discounted Dawning apparel, the sale has deals for everyone. Continue with the 10-year Destiny celebration with new discounts on the Destiny art show posters and apparel. And for this week only, participate in $7.77 flat rate shipping on the Bungie Store. And their shipping is really high. So that's not bad considering. So that's this week only. There is anytime you buy anything in the store, this is the emblem you can get. It's a nice, beautiful emblem of a dragon. Looks really good. I like it. I have to get my Moments of Triumph t-shirt, so that's probably where I'll get this. I'll go ahead and get that locked in for this week since they're offering that. D2 Fashion feedback. There's another ornament preview. This is for the Exotic Arms, the Worm God Caress. They're showing pictures here of the ornament that they're bringing. I guess this is based off feedback. I don't know if I like the beads or not. I don't know. It looks okay, but I don't play mainly Titans. So there you go, Titans. Another ornament possibly coming your way. And there's all kinds of more feedback for the Destiny Heresy fashion. These are the different themes. You can click right here if you want to look at these and give some feedback to them as well. Emerald City Comic-Con Guardian Gathering. For those of you who live in the Pacific Northwest, that's probably not hardly any of us. There is going to be from March 9th, 11:15 to 12 Pacific. Guardians invited to the Overlook on level 5 of the Seattle Convention Center for Destiny 2 fan meetup. Probably not going to apply to 99% of us because by the time you hear this, you're probably not going to, it'll be passed already. Okay. Daylight savings times. Remember tomorrow, Sunday morning or Saturday night for me, because I'm up at way past midnight. Remember your clocks are going to fall back. No, they're going to go forward. Damn it. Just get rid of it. Just get rid of
Sunday for you.
Just get rid of daylight savings. You know what I tell everybody? Daylight savings. All right. So we're going to lose an hour. We're going to go forward an hour, right? Spring forward. Yeah. Spring forward an hour, daylight savings. And then once you flip that switch, bash it in with a hammer. Okay. Because we don't need to go back to regular. Just leave it at daylight savings. And naturally, as the earth moves around the sun and we get into the winter months, the daylight hours shorten normally. All right. That's my only complaint tonight.
All right. But more importantly, we got to remember, reset goes an hour later, regardless of the switch, because also not every country or they even recognize it at the same time as us. I remember in the US, I don't know how many years it's been now, but we used to have a different time when daylight savings switched. And I know in the UK, they're still on that time. Yep. So they don't switch for like another month or something, or a few weeks or something. Yep. So this is maybe only for the US, but either way, basically, regardless of what your local time is, because it may not happen, but Bungie is like for me right now, and I know for like Eastern, 9.
It's going to be 1 p.m. So Eastern.
12 is 1 p.m. reset, but it's going to be 1 p.m. For me, it was 10. Now it's going to be 11. So
just go forward an hour. Reset's usually at noon in the winter months. And once we get into the spring and summer months, it's 1 p.m., which that's all you need to know. And if you don't go by daylight savings, then don't worry about it.
Well, it's not all you need to know because there's more people outside of Eastern
time. Yes,
the
UK but God, they don't matter, do they? They don't matter really.
Of the US.
Just kidding. I'm in an ornery mood tonight. Okay, account recovery services. All right, guys. If you guys are using account recoveries, you're actually giving people your password so they can sign in and go play trials and use their cheat codes or whatever and win games for you. Remember, even if you don't touch the keyboard or you don't touch the controller, if they logged in and used your account and used cheats, you are going to lose your account and they will IP ban your ass. I've had that happen to me before. You talk about scary. It means anything you log into, they know it's you. Don't do it. I'm telling you, don't do it. The early days of Destiny 2 went to PC. I accidentally used an overlay program because I was dumb and I didn't know how to do much screen cap. They banned me among a ton of people and they reversed the ban because so many people just didn't understand. But I don't ever want to be faced with that again. So don't do it, guys. Don't give people your stuff. Don't do boosting accounts or any of that stuff. Don't give people your passwords. I think amongst everyone we're talking here tonight, I don't think I need to mention anymore. So known issues list. Anything in there, Kingsley, we need to mention?
No, there's not really anything interesting. I'm trying to look for something. So too many things are broken.
Yeah, shit's broken, guys. I mean, shit's always broken a little bit every week. So yeah, we got some Destiny art. We got some movie of the week right there. That's another week just went by. We can't wait for all of you to play the new content coming in Act 2 of Heresy, which is next reset or tomorrow if you're listening to this in the audio form. Do your best and be the strongest, have your strongest PvE builds. Be ready to fight Court of Blades. We also have Guardian Games, Moments of Triumph. I mean, there's so much to do. There's so much to do right now. So get ready and have fun, guys, next week. Just 5 more days until Act 3 as of tonight when we're talking. Destiny 2 community team. Thank you, Destiny 2 community team. Thank you for, again, sharing your feedback with us every week and helping us out, letting us know what's coming up, getting all those people hyped and what we need to do. So I'm looking forward to next week. Gonna be a lot to do. I'm all about checking the box. So it's going to be the kind of thing where I'm going to be trying to complete my Guardian games. I'm going to be trying to complete my Moments of Triumph at the same time. It's going to be off the chain. So I'll be very busy doing just a lot of busy stuff. So that will be, me next week. So anything, you want to add, Kingsley, going into next week that I haven't mentioned here?
That's, nope. You went over the TWID very detailed.
Thank you. Yes, I wasn't supposed to do that, but I tried to skim through it as quick as we could because we covered, you can probably imagine we had a lot to talk about tonight. So, we do have some questions from our community and we're going to do that right after this small mandatory bathroom break. Be right back, guys. Hey Guardians, would you like to send a question for the show to us? There are 4 ways to do it. First, you can join our Discord server at discord.gg/Guardian Downcast. There's also a join link in our show notes down below. We have Guardians from all walks of life and all over the world, from new lights to day one players to hardcore gamers. There's also a channel labeled Podcast Questions where you can type in your question for the show. So come hang out with us. You can also email us with your question at guardiandowncast@gmail.com, or we also occasionally post about our upcoming show and guest, and you can respond there with your question at Guardian_D_cast is our X handle. Finally, you can send us a voicemail with your question at guardiandowncast.com, and we might play it on the podcast. Think of it as talking with us right on the show. Thanks for listening, and later, Guardian. All right, boys and girls, it's that time of our show where we get questions from you guys, and I'm going to start with our Discord here. We have a few questions I want to go over here from the original Jimmy Rayner. Do you think we should be allowed to use all artifact mods? So maybe by reaching Season Pass level 100, you unlock enough points to unlock all 25 perks. By 150, you get the next 5, and by 200, you get everything. Most of the artifact mods that you can use in one build can be built into anyway. And it also helps with loadouts. You don't need to swap the artifact for every loadout. This annoys me the most because they used to do that, right, Kingsley? They used to let us unlock everything. I hate having to go back and find out which one do I have to refund to open up this one over here. And I know you can pay, you have to pay money to reset it. I can't remember if you used to have to pay to reset it.
I don't remember them ever letting us unlock all of them.
Yeah.
They used to. That one?
Yeah. Yep. They used to. And then they went, I think what they're afraid of is we were too powerful and they wanted to produce some resistance.
Let us know. Do you remember that?
We used to be able to do it.
I thought.
I want to say Dawn.
Every single artifact.
Everyone.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Everyone. You could unlock all of them. And it was great for me because I was stacking bounties and I easily would unlock everything after not long. So yeah, I'm telling you, I used to be able to do it, but then they cut it back and now they've added these extra rows that they don't give us another unlock with the extra rows. So So what do you think?
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. I have mixed feelings about it. Zombie does clarify just for the first couple seasons. Look, I think a lot of games are pretty normal where you can't get every little thing. So it's not just Destiny saying like, there's not some precedents where it's like we should for sure get every single artifact thing. It can make sense if there's some really power, because if they let us get every single one, they might be afraid to make a super powerful one one particular season. So I can see pluses and minuses either way. I'm not so much interested in the argument of should they let us get everyone or not, but maybe at least a little bit more either way, especially with those extra rows. When we get the extra rows, and that's basically the question, right? And what you were saying, when we get that extra rows for Act 2 and Act 3, they got to give us at least a couple extra for those.
That's exactly. I think they should go back to letting us unlock everything. Give us reason to play the game, Bungie. I mean, you already cap everything at 100 for the first act and then 150 and then 200, which don't get me wrong. If you had it at 100 for all three, I'd be irate. I like unlocking new stuff in that season pass bar. That encourages me to play and encourages me to go do bounties and get extra XP where I can when I'm doing activities in the game. Why can't this be any different? I'm on board with Jimmy Rayner because it's ridiculous. It's just so clunky, man. I've had my game up. I'd show you how clunky it is, but you guys know what I'm talking about. You'll try to go to your latest one on your row 4 and you can't unclick it. You have to find out the last one you did, which means you got to fish through it's such a pain in the ass. Just let us unlock everything. And then it gives us reason to play more of the game. You know, that's my opinion anyway. So I agree, Jimmy. We got a question from Grackle, Taco Bell, Maine. This is good. What's something in game that makes you say this effing guy? For example, I think every time I'm gunned down by Fellwinter's Lie in the year of our Lord 2025. Alternatively, I imagine people think this, whatever, I get a lemon art kill. PvE examples are welcome, of course. In game that makes you say this effing guy.
See, I don't ever really think that. And it helps me not be stressed in life. I guess I'm pretty empathetic towards other people and situations, give people the benefit of the doubt. And so when people do things in the game, that could annoy other people. It never really bugs me. But I want to hear what you think.
What do you guys think? You guys in chat, how well do you know me when I play Crucible? What do you think I say this effing guy every time?
Oh, a shotgun.
It's a shotgun, man. It's a sliding effing shotgunners. I'll be trying to move in and charge them with a sidearm in hand and just go into town. And they're like in one movement, they'll slide and shotgun me. It's like, you can't even defend yourself. It's such a broken part of that game. It's so broken. Anyway, I digress.
They might say the same thing about sidearms, actually.
Are you kidding me? Sidearm is a spam weapon. You're literally running in like you have an auto rifle in your hand that only has 15 bullets.
Times where people complained about sidearms.
Really?
I know there was. Yeah.
All right.
There was times where sidearms were too OP'd. Maybe it's been a while now. But
Jimmy agrees. Yeah. All right. You see stuff move. Yeah, exactly. You can see all right. I'm good. I'm good. I'm not.
See, and that's one of the reasons why Crucible can never be perfect, in my opinion, because what are they going to do? Like remove whole classes of weapons from the game, but then it ruins the game, if
Crucible,
they remove shotguns.
You're dealing with one human brain against another human brain. It's never going to say, oh, that was a great shot, sir. I bid you. Very good shot, sir. Exactly. Thank you very much. I'll go.
It always seems like a losing battle.
No one likes to get killed in Crucible. I mean, come on. I mean, because I'm usually...
I mean like opinions of what the meta is, and it's always changing. Yeah. And then if they lower the shotguns, then someone's going to complain about something else. So
yeah. I like I said, it's my bane, and I as many times as I try to learn my lesson, I still end up rushing in when I know they got a shotgun, like in Trials, and I'll still rush in thinking maybe they're not going to be lucky this time, and I'll gun them down. And nope, every time they got that sliding shotgun down. I know it's slick draw. I know it's what it is. Anyway, thanks, Grackle. Deadpool 1 Merc threw in here. It's a question for the show. What is your favorite exotic weapon? If you could change a perk on it, what would you change it to? Favorite exotic weapon?
Too many exotics. It makes it too hard to answer this question. It was easier in Destiny 1 or in the early life of Destiny 2.
I'll buy you some time, Kingsley.
Maybe,
you need some time?
I got it real quick.
Okay.
I'll just go with Sunshot. It's a boring answer, I guess, but I like it a lot. And there's times where even throughout changes and metas and stuff, there's times where I'll bust it out again. So perk that I would change on it, I don't know. I would want it even better. So make the explosions even bigger or better.
Here you go, Deadpool. Favorite exotic weapon. What do you think I'm going to say? It's going to be Telesto, of course. And they did already give me a perk that I love. And it's the new Catalyst where you can actually hold your reload down and actually fire a globule that actually shoots down not arc suit. I'm in arc mode. Void globules down on people like that exotic rocket launcher that does it. Yeah, so that's the one for me. So, yeah, good question. Good questions all, guys. We had a few non-Destiny questions here. Let's see, we had... sorry. We have more questions. My bad. I didn't scroll up. My bad, Kingsley. We have a question from a... we got...
some of them are just responses, too. They're not questions, so...
Oh, okay.
Sometimes people will write back and forth. By the way, people
I see here, yeah.
It's not that it's not like we're going to be super strict about it, but try not to respond back in the question channel because that makes it harder for us to.
Yeah. I'll just delete them. I usually delete them. So, yeah, I mean the questions are for us. They're not really for the
a discussion back and forth.
It's not a discussion. Yeah. It's literally where you put questions and we ask them on the show. We have a new member called the Assault. Hello, Gator. I had a question that always goes back and forth with my clanmates. He tells me Titans are broken and way too strong. I disagree because I'm the only Titan main in my clan. I'll tell you what, Titans are pretty strong this season or this episode or whatever the hell you want to call it. They've got a lot of weapons at their disposal, but I'm probably biased here. I'm sure Kingsley is too, but I think Warlocks are very powerful right now. But with the new arc changes, I've seen Titans do. I was watching Astrocross for like 30 minutes before lunch today. And he was using a sword that never wore down. His energy never wore down. And he'd throw a barrier Titan, the little low barrier where he was getting even more buffs. Man, he was just wiping out bosses. I think he was playing Nightfalls. I think he was doing Nightfalls, but he was just obliterating bosses with his sword. I'm like, what the hell? I need to look into this build because this looks like fun to play. It's a powerful Guardian here. So I don't know if they're broken. I think all the characters have their strengths and weaknesses. And what do you think, Kingsley? Are Titans broken?
Well, it's probably a little stronger than you're actually thinking, but I don't know that I would use the word broken either. I would have to actually see a lot more discussion about it, both in Discords, Reddit, or articles coming out before I even believe like something's really messed up. And I haven't really seen anything on that. Yes, they're probably in a good state, but broken. Everyone has a different line of that also, but I doubt they're broken right now.
Yeah. JD can't kill someone with a Jotun and they're saltier than a mermaid's crotch. Yeah. I've gotten killed by those, but if you hear them coming, you can dodge those easily. If they're shorter distances, here's the thing about what I hate about Jotun or Jotun is they don't get burn damage on themselves. So you can literally run in and charge it and run into somebody with it and put it in their back and it kills them and you're perfectly fine. If they changed it to where you can actually hurt yourself, I mean like kill yourself if you went point blank with somebody with it, then I would say I wouldn't be as salty. But yeah, it's an easy weapon to use and it has a lot of guidance, a lot of aim assist. So the Assault had another question, another small question. Would a new strand melee for Titans that is all about suspending enemies to have a more dedicated to suspending build after the nerfs? I don't play a ton of Titan. Do you know how to answer this one, Kingsley?
No, I have no opinion of this. I'm so sorry.
I don't play a lot of strand Titan. I like Superman Slam.
Any Titan.
I like Superman Slam. I like all the arc changes they've done with them. Maybe the chat can help out here. Would a new strand melee for Titans that is all about suspending enemies to have a stronger, more dedicated to suspending build after the nerfs? Anybody in chat want to chime in there that plays Titan?
Well, actually, we actually should, even though I said earlier, but Jimmy Rayner did kind of answer the question for us. So maybe this is a good time where Someone did, if you read the next thing down.
Oh, okay. I see. Well, Jimmy Rayner replied, he'll answer the question for us this week. Asking a Warlock main, this outcome will be interesting as I am mainly Titan and Warlock player would say that Titan has the most survivability staying in battle, Warlock the most out of all classes, and Hunter has the most staying out of battle and Viz, dummy, and such stuff. Yeah, I mean, I know Titans are punching, running, and, heavy, strong builds that just run into the fight and just start swinging, like Astrocross did with that sword today, but Warlocks are a little more ranged players, and I know what you're talking about as far as a suspend build, but I haven't played Titan, a Strand Titan too much. When I was on Neptune, I got all the Strand fragments unlocked and stuff, and I played around with it briefly, but I just haven't put enough time into Titan to be able to answer that question accurately, bud. Sorry. Appreciate you asking though.
No
let's
worries.
see.
Yep. That was a good question.
Okay, that was it. We had one.
We
had one question. Okay. All right. This might get salty. So all you Star Wars nerds out there, okay, just chill, okay. It's from Jimmy Rayner. This is a non-Destiny question. As the rumor suggests, Kathleen Kennedy will leave Star Wars this year. Would you think that both Star Wars and Marvel need a soft or hard reset? I hope that Fantastic Four will reset a lot of stuff in the MCU. It most likely will not. I also would like the MCU to be focused more on their individual characters instead of the MCUing every movie. Captain America 4 is anything but a Captain America Falcon movie. It's more a Hulk and Eternals than a Cap movie. Star Wars, in my opinion, needs to put everything besides Rogue One and Andor into legend status and reinstate the old lore, pay the movie license for Timothy Zahn's books, and do a new thing. I mean, this is a statement made by the woman in charge of freaking Star Wars. I'm just going to share you my opinion. And this is my opinion only. I know Kathleen Kennedy has said many times that she's going to be retiring, but I haven't seen her retire yet. I've heard rumors that she won't retire until she gets a win. I've heard rumors that certain people will replace her that are already very busy in the Star Wars universe right now. I'm a big Favreau fan. I think he should take over. I like the way he made the Mandalorian shows, series, whatever. I'm a big fan of his, and he's exactly my age too. So we both are on the same wavelength as far as how we think about Star Wars. I am always open-minded to anything new that comes in Star Wars. I'm not one of these that worries about Kathleen Kennedy trying to kill the past or kill all of the old lore in Star Wars. I really don't get really down into the nitty-gritty lore of Star Wars. I love every bit of stuff that they put out. But the latest stuff that has come out about the one about the witches, I don't ever remember hearing about witches in Star Wars all the years since 1978 when I watched the very first one. I've never remember witches in Star Wars. So I think we're getting off the rails a little bit on some of these side shows. And that's my opinion. I think we need to focus back on the reason I like Andor so much is because it's more of a thinking man Star Wars. It has more, instead of the glorified 3 lines that each character says at one time, and it's always a line that you think they're going to say. It's very trite and common. The writing's never been the greatest in Star Wars. I mean, come on. The early Star Wars, it really wasn't the most, but it wasn't the greatest writing back then. But it's something about Andor. It just is a very good, dramatic Star Wars series, and I cannot wait. April 11th, can't get here quick enough. But I love the story that leads up to Rogue One, which incidentally is one of my favorite Star Wars movies, was Rogue One. So, yeah, Jimmy Rayner, Gator didn't read the statement from Kathleen Kennedy. It's the most infuriating. We had witches back in old canon. They were writing rancors and stuff. Dathomir, the old Darth Mauls. Okay. Like I said, I did not read the novels. I'm just a fan of the movies and the series. I'm an old school Star Wars guy, but I did not dive into the comics and all the books and stuff. Sorry. That's just not, I'm not,
yeah.
from,
And also,
I'm not
if
cut
you
from
want
that cloth.
But then I'm also confused. You say you like something new, but you don't want something new if it switches.
Well, if I want,
you want something new or not?
what I said is I'm open-minded, but this last one that came out about, what was it? The Acolyte? That was horrible, man. The Acolyte was terrible. I don't know I didn't even know what I was watching by the end of that. I'm trying to figure out how that moved the story along. The whole Star Wars song, the whole Star Wars timeline. I don't even know where it even fits in anywhere. So maybe I'm just not adept enough on the comics and stuff. But, like I said, I'm always very honest. I'm always very open to anything Star Wars releases. And then it's just, if it's something I enjoy, great. If not, then I just move on. So, see, JD, can't be honest with yourself. Of the main 9 movies, only 2.5 were good. The problem with Star Wars movies is they were very similar. Good versus bad. And they said kind of the same things. I mean, it's your destiny. And, the line, there's just, the writing wasn't the greatest. I'm sorry. It wasn't really the characters. Be honest. In the older Star Wars movies, you really didn't get a lot of character development in those days. It was all about moving the story along. There wasn't any, and that's what I love about Andor, is the fact that they get into character development. I'm learning about the really stern manager that is trying to move up the ladder in the Empire, in the Republic. So, I mean, I love all the individual stories and how they go to the work every day. I feel like I'm really in that moment in time, even if it is fiction. And then how the store owner, who is a secret rebel that's trying to fight the Republic and trying to stop everything that's happening, because sometimes life imitates art these days. That's all I'm saying. So, I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do with Andor season 2. We'll just have to see. I've heard really good things so far, so we'll have to see. Any comments, Kingsley?
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of these discussions are just, I kind of shake my head at, and I'm like, I'll let the nerds fight it out or whatever. But I've been bored of Marvel movies for a while. Not so much because I necessarily thought they were bad, but like, maybe because the answer was, it was too much of the same thing. So I think for me, the easiest answer is yes, focus a little bit more on individual things. Now, I don't want that to be taken too far. I could see a situation where a movie, to me, it has to have a good story with maybe focusing on an individual character development, but also I want to have some really cool tech and overall, fighting explosion type things that would be similar-ish to, from the previous movies.
Yeah.
When I think of Star Wars, for example, if I'm watching a series and like 9 out of the 10 episodes is just character development and only 2 are some really cool fight scene where they're like blowing up some base and you see all the tech inside, then I'll be bored that way, even though I just said I like character development. So it has to be a mix, a little bit of the same, and then a little bit of character development. I haven't seen a Marvel movie for quite a while, and I had a friend that wanted to see the latest Captain America. So I went, just open-minded. I liked it fine. Yeah. I didn't think it was the best thing in the world. And based on what Jimmy Raynor's saying, I can see the point. They didn't focus enough on Hawkeye, Falcon. You know what I meant. Yeah. But I still liked the movie fine, but because of that, like, I could see the movie being a lot better if it was done a different way. But a soft or hard reset, I don't know what that could even mean, where everyone would be on the same page, and if that would help anything. I like the idea in theory, because, I want a hard reset of Destiny. I want a Destiny 3. But for movies, I don't know what that would even mean, or if it would help. So that's my nuanced answer.
Yeah, it's probably more nuanced than what I had to say. I mean, I'm a fan of Star Wars, but I don't go that much into the lore. I don't go that deep. Sorry, guys. I'm an old fart. I loved all the movies, and I'm open-minded when they do release something new. But it seems like the movies today are so worried about appealing to everyone that they appeal to nobody. That's what I don't like about the latest stuff that seems to come out, other than Andor. Andor is probably the only exception and reason why it's getting renewed for a second season, and why Acolyte isn't. Just saying. Anyway. Oh, yeah, boy, that's a wormhole we can definitely go down into. So thanks for the questions, guys. We appreciate you. If you have any questions, by the way, for our show in the future, it's podcast questions channel in our Discord. That's discord.gg/GuardianDownCast. You can leave your questions there anytime you think of one. You want to ask us a question, throw it in there. We have a Destiny only channel, and then of course a non-Destiny question like our last question was. If you want to ask us something that we can't guarantee that we're going to be able to answer them, but we'll be glad to try. So thanks for that, guys. Hey, Guardians, I just wanted to introduce our new sponsors who will be placing ads in the podcast this next season. Zero. Thank you, Patreon community, for your continued support that keeps the show going. And if you're interested in giving back to the podcast, check out the Patreon button on our website, GuardianDownCast.com. Later, Guardian. Hey, before I go, I wanted to share and give a shout out to our patrons of the show. Thanks, you guys, for giving back to the show and contributing back to all the production costs and giveaways and all of the stuff that we do that goes right back into the community. So a quick shout out to our Dungeon Champion patrons. That's Technical, Raffi, and Deadpool1 Merc, and Darth Noodle. A thank you to our Raid Boss patrons. That's Jealous, Frostbite, and the amazing Taco King for giving back to our show and community. Remember, like I said, all our patron funds go right back and invested into the community. So we thank you again. And if you want to donate or help out or support a listener supported show like ours, it's GuardianDownCast.com and just hit the Patreon button and it'll show you all the different tiers of membership available. And like I said, you'll get special patron episodes, usually every month, and some extra little video bits in there as well. So I try to give back. For you give back to us, I try to give back as well. So again, thank you to our Patreon community. Some final thoughts to wrap up. We got a lot coming in Act 2 coming up next week. And between Moments of Triumph, Guardian Games, and the new Blades activity going on in the Dreadnought, and then add to it the 9 activity coming around the bend as well, man, we're going to be pretty busy. So I'm curious what you guys think. What do you think Destiny is going to do to keep us invested in the game until June or even July when the new Frontiers comes out? I'm curious what you guys think about that, because we're trying to rack our heads around, once these activities are over with, what are they going to do? What is it Bungie's not telling us? Because ramping up into a new year of content that people have to pay for, they have to have something that gets us excited or angry and ramped up into the new content. So I'm curious, what do you guys think they're going to do there? Let us know. You can go to GuardianDownCast.com. You can send us an email. You can go to our Discord, discord.gg/GuardianDownCast, and go to our GDC feedback channel and let us know. We like to hear from you. We love to talk to our community membership after every week's show, just to see how they enjoyed it, if there's something they got out of it, or if they even had a question. So, like I said, we hope you enjoyed this week's show. I'm really looking forward to Act 2 coming up this week. And, yeah, there's going to be a lot to do, guys. A lot of cool stuff to do. And, I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, I think that's it for us tonight. Oh, wait a minute. Our buddy Lazarus the Lich stopped by to say hey. So I'm sorry, Laz. What did you want to say to us this week, brother?
90 seconds for a voicemail. I see nothing has changed in the few months in which I was stuck in the Gamma Nebula dealing with the United Space Postal Service. You ever dealt with them before? They're a pain in the ass. None of their offices talk to each other. They lose things all the time, such as paychecks to their lawyers. That should sound familiar. So I only have 90 seconds. And I didn't even identify myself because you know how these messages go. I should have to craft something more clever and longer the next time I have an opportunity. In the meantime, I am here. I'm reading your paperwork. I'm scoping out the Blackberry Lounge that was newly started because it sounds... There's so many different adjectives for it, but none of them good. I will see you all on the flip side.
Thanks, Laz. Good to hear from you, brother. I haven't heard from Uncle Scumdeath in a long time. I got to probably message him and see what he's been up to, man. I haven't heard of Scumdeath's Corner in a long time. We miss that guy. Next week, I believe it'll be Kingsley and I again to see our first impressions of Act 2, Destiny 2 Heresy, Act 2. And we'll see how we're enjoying things and kind of give everybody a catch up and maybe things that we are finding out about it that we want you guys to know about it. So that's a wrap. Another episode in our collection for our new listeners out there. We have 293 episodes with interviews and Destiny talk from members all over our community. So take a look at those, especially if you're just finding out about us. And if you like what you hear, the only way we grow is by you telling a friend about us. All you have to say is, hey, just go to guardiandowncast.com. It'll fill you in. A special thanks to my co-host, Kingsley Mac. You can find him in our Discord. I'll have all the links to all of our hosts as well in the show notes down below, and all the socials if you want to follow us and see what we've been up to. You can contact me at ToddtheGatr across all the socials and all the gaming platforms. You can also reach me via email, guardiandowncast@gmail.com. And like I said, don't be afraid to send us a voicemail. I love voicemails. It's kind of your way of being in the show and talking with us. So send us a voicemail, guardiandowncast.com, and just go to the right side of your page and it'll say send us a voicemail. It's that easy. You can use your cell phone, mic, whatever you're talking into, and hit press record, press stop, tell us who you are, and hit send. It'll go right to us. It's that easy. Super, super easy to do. Remember, as you're playing Final Shape, take breaks, get outside, and touch grass. Grackle. Everyone, remember, we're Guardian Downcast, your stories, your community, your destiny. And be good to your fellow Guardians in the Destinyverse.
The weight of the world was on your shoulders, and still you triumphed. Marvelous.
Thank you all so very much for listening. And later, Guardian. Yeah, I appreciate everybody coming out tonight. This was pretty much just an information-packed show for the new Act 2 and possibly even Act 3 stuff. And of course, man, we got Moments of Triumph, Guardian games going on. We got so much going on right now. My head's kind of swimming a little bit, to be honest. So I don't know what I'm going to dive into first. I was looking at all the the Moments of Triumph last night when I hopped on. I was like, man, there's a lot of stuff here I don't think I'm going to be able to do. But I'm going to try my best to get as much as I can done. I'm not really.
I do have a quick question. I don't think it would be a big topic if we would just wanted to take 5 minutes tonight.
Go for it. Go for it.
It goes along with things you were saying, but I was curious. And if you think we should hold on to it, let me know. But I was curious, you say you like to check off things, and I get that to a small aspect, even though I don't as much. Where do you personally draw the line? Because I know you don't check off everything. Like Moments of Triumph will have things like do a certain raid or something. You might draw the line there. And then so I'm curious, where do you draw the line? Because you check off things way more than I do.
Yeah.
And then along with that, do you ever feel disappointed or sad when you can't check off everything?
Always feel sad and disappointed if I can't complete everything. I always feel bad. So I want to complete. I want to check all the boxes. It goes against my character. I definitely am a completionist. I have like 5 different sticky notes with all kinds of stuff on them, and I like being able to delete stuff off that list. But I have to compartmentalize things for my brain to work right. But it's a kind of thing where I look and see first if it's an activity that I'm going to normally do in the game. I start there. If it's something I'm normally doing in the game and I can integrate it into my normal activities that I normally play, whether it's Crucible or jumping into a raid or jumping around doing, going around the worlds or whatever, I'll start there first. And then I'll start looking at stuff like, okay, I need to do this dungeon, and this dungeon, complete these 3 dungeons. I might think about it, but it's a time suck, man. I have to decide where I'm going to put my time. And, I'm working on my other project right now, my other podcast I'm working on, and that's taking a lot of extra time as well. That'll be out soon. I'll let you guys know when it gets closer, but it is nothing about Destiny. It is nothing about gaming. It's a totally different kind of podcast, and it's a solo podcast, and it's a short podcast. These episodes are like less than 30 minutes. They're very short episodes, but I start there. And then of course I look and see sometimes that if it has an emblem involved with it, I might think twice about it because I love collecting emblems. But, that's about how my thinking process is when it comes to stuff like that, Kingsley.
Yeah. And I get it. And for me, I like to live life in a chill way. So like, I don't let things like that bother me. I always challenge people to consider that. I get wanting to check everything off, but like, yeah, if it's not an activity you would have fun in, you could potentially feel worse after getting that done. If you put a lot of like frustration into it and you finally get it done, and then, or maybe it's worth it. Maybe you check it off and it's worth it. But I guess the point I'm making is sometimes people do worry too much. I maybe worry too little. Who knows? But everyone has their personalities, and I like to live life in a chill way. So for me, I just, I will only check things off normally if it's just part of what I'm doing, having fun doing anyway. So kind of like what you said, but then also I'll look at the stuff. It's not like I'll totally ignore it. I'm like, okay, this one seems interesting to check off because it's something I haven't done before, or it's something that I still enjoy doing. But I even in PvE, like if there's things like, okay, do the new raid on Master or whatever, and I don't feel like doing that, then I'm not going to worry about it too much, and I'm not going to feel sad that I didn't get it checked off. Yeah,
Kingsley, I've gotten a lot more chill. I'm a lot more casual player than I used to be. I used to be so hardcore in Destiny. I had to get every triumph. I had to get every title and everything. And it just isn't that important to me anymore. And I hate to say that. That hurts even to say, because I've been playing Destiny since day one.
But not important doesn't mean, okay, that's maybe too harsh of a word. You can say it's just not worth your time where you are right now in life.
Time investment. Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's not that it wasn't not important. It's just the time involved to get the reward was just not worth it to me. And maybe that's more casualization of Destiny, but I know what I like to play in the game, and I don't like being forced to play stuff that I don't normally want to play. And lately, like I said, I've told Kingsley publicly, I want to start doing more dungeons and raids. I want to start getting back into raiding again. I've been out of it for quite a while now, and I'm very, very rusty. I've forgotten. I mean, if we run a garden this week, I think I've got like 10 runs, maybe 9 runs total. And it's been a long time since I played that raid. I know I'm in my head. I know what we got to do, but just the little singular things that I have to remember to do or what I'm assigned to do. But I can't wait to bring my new Warlock Arkville in. It's going to be so much fun to use. I'm getting giddy thinking about it, because, I'm going to have my Chaos Reach. I'm just going to explode everything. It's going to be a lot of fun. But try to do an impression. Why not? I haven't drank, but who cares? They will try to kill you. Kill them back.